Hey guys, Full Cards here, live and direct from Brooklyn, New York. In front of me today I have a box of the 2019-20 Upper Deck Series 1 Retail, almost as tasty as a large ale. Configuration 24 packs per box, 8 cards per pack, which would amount to 192 cards, hefty, chunky amount of cards. Be looking for the Young Guns, 1 of 4, so that'd be 6 cards. The Upper Deck Portraits are 1 of 6, so that would be 4 cards. The jerseys, we should expect 1 because they're 124, and then we'd also be looking for Upper Deck Canvas, Shooting Stars, and rarities and scarcities, such as the Day with the Cup and stuff like that. Cool, so let's do this. Young Gun class, as we may know, would be Jack Hughes, Cody Glass, Quinn Hughes, Olofsson, Texier, Poehling. Adam Fox has been lighting it up, as has Phillip Myers, Logan Brown, Heinola, guys like that, guys of that nature. So let's do this. And of course, also the Canvas Young Guns too, so we could potentially hit a Kakko or a Makar that way. So let's pop it open. Suzuki as well, I would believe to be one of the Young Gun canvases. So here's our little box, kind of cute, very, very square, which is very retail. There's Max Domi. And we should not receive all the clear cuts and stuff like that because a lot of those things are hobby exclusives. But we do get the 6 Young Guns, which is the benefit of this box at this price point. Another thing we could potentially look out for would be the alternative cards. So the Austin Matthews, for example, definitely has a variation. Here, is this on the variation? I do not recall. You guys probably know better than I do. Oh, look at this. Our first Upper Deck canvas would be of Adam Henrique. Still chugging after all these years. Paul Stastny as well. Zdeno Chara, speaking of which, and there's Max Domi flying through the air. Right, so this would be the base, not the variation. The variation, I think, is wearing a white jersey and it's a vertical card. That is the difference. I think a bunch of these, it's whether it's horizontal or vertical, would be the variations. So just keep those in mind. We should expect a jersey, though, even in a retail box, which is kind of cool. So let's look out for that. Philippe Danault, who is a monster in banger leagues because he's so good on faceoffs, etc. JVR, Matt Barzell. And here we have another canvas, and it's of Josh Bailey. Very, very serviceable player on your Islanders. Series 1 checklist, and a Boone Jenner. Adam Lowry, Duclair, who's been lighting it up, Venberg. And our first Young Gun would be Sandin, who has been fantastic. A D on your Maple Leafs. Nice. Really, really nice. There's Corey Crawford, Arvidsson, Louis Eriksson, and Hampus Lindholm. And if you are wondering who went first in 2019, of course it would be Jack Hughes, then Kakko, then Doc, and then Bowen Byram, and then Alex Turcotte. Seguin, Ryan Strome, also playing really well this year. And our second Young Gun would be Vitaly Abramov. There you go. 5'9", Russian. Continuing on, so we already hit our second Young Gun. And there's Leon Draisaitl, as well as Nate. Abramov, a 3rd rounder. So a bit of action this year, just a tad, just a touch, just a drip. Charlie Coyle, Johnny Hockey, Blake Coleman, Bo Horvat, Darnell Nurse, Evander Kane, Dylan, and Duncan Keith. Duncan Keith still doing it after all these numerous cups and years. And international gold medals. Chason, Sam Girard. There's Ryan O'Reilly, monsters last year. Anderson, Jeff Petrie, Tom Wilson, who's having a spectacular year, as is Pajot. Picked up Pajot in a couple of my pools. Why not? The way he's been playing. Christian Fischer, Oscar Klefbom, Kuznetsov, Brent Burns, Brad Richardson, Jared Spurgeon, Mike Green, and Tyler Toffoli. If there are variations, I don't even know if there are variations in the retail. I'll look for them and do them in the recap. It's hard to know which ones are the variations. They all look so similar. It'd be one thing if only the variations would be horizontal cards, then we'd actually know. Andre Palat, another guy who's been playing really well. Mackenzie Blackwood seeing a ton of action. Darlene. And our first Upper Deck portraits would be a Matthew Barzal. Matt Barzal. Nice. Boy, he was overlooked by a bunch of teams in the first round when he was picked. Jake DeBrusk and Shea Theodore. Matt was, I think, 16th overall, and right before him, Senshin went. DeBrusk went before that, and Sporil and Guryanov went before Barzal in the 2015 draft, which is kind of cray. There's Dylan Strome. He's doing a decent job with the Hawks as a center. Voracek on a nice line. Alex Kilhorn, he's been fantastic. Sean Couturier and Eric Stahl. I think Timo Meyer went before. Rantanen definitely also went before Matt Barzal, which is sort of a little bit more sensical than nonsensical. And here we have another one of these Upper Deck portraits, and it would be Abramov again. There's Rupe Hintz, Chris Kreider, Sorensen, and Dvorak. Again, I'm shooting a natural light. Maybe someday I'll re-up and do it with actual lighting, but that's not really my mojo. There's David Krejci, who's been on fire recently. And here's our next young gun. It's Connor Clifton. Connor Clifton would be our next young gun. Another somewhat diminutive dude. Somewhat. Nylander, Foligno, and Sid the Kid, whose, I think, surgery has to do with the hernia, what they term a hernia, which is probably muscles in his stomach or something to that effect. Leo Komarov, Uncle Leo, Nolan Patrick, who's had concussion issues or migraine issues, Grubauer, Carter Hart. So this, for example, is not the variation. This would be the base Carter Hart. And we hit Cale Fleury. Nice. Nice day to have. Really cool. Beautiful. Beautiful. Nice. A very able physical presence of a D for the Habs. Jonathan Taves and Pedersen, who was the flavor du jour last year. Every year has its flavor du jour, the soup du jour. Yanni Gord, Granlund, Brian Rust, who I also have in my pool, who's a bit injured right now, but he's just a superstar the way he's playing this year. And there's Travis Zajac, Canvas, Jesper Bratt, Josh Bailey, Mark Scheifele, and Victor Hedman. Jake Muzzin, Hornquist, Darren Helm. Is this already our last? Oh, cool. So we did hit the Young Gun Upper Deck Canvas one, which is 50% of the time you hit this one, and it's Nygard. Pardon me. I think he was undrafted, and I actually hit his redemption in the artifacts. I believe it would be him, from what people tell me. Thank you for the info, guys. There you go. So we did hit a Young Gun Canvas of Nygard. He's only played a few games with these guys. I think he's played 14 games thus far. Kovalchuk, Leddy, Cam Atkinson, and Bjorkstrand, who's starting to come online. So 50% chance typically of hitting a Canvas Young Gun in these boxes, so I did hit one, which is kind of nice. Albeit, I believe Nygard's undrafted, I believe. Connor Sherry, Cizikas, who's been great. Sveshnikov. I think there's a variation of this one as well. I don't think this is the variation. Quick, Comper, Hyman, and Brandon Saad, who's looked good. Danny DeKaiser, Ekholm, who is just so solid. Nick Ritchie. And these right wingers, is this a red parallel? I think this is what they term the red parallels, which I believe are rarer. I think these only land 8% of the time, these red parallels of the right wingers. So this is a bit more scarce to hit, I believe. Nino Niederreiter. John Carlson having one of the best years for a defenseman since Orr. And there go the sirens. to remind us where we are situated. Go, 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 dog catcher sirens. TJ Oshie, Zucker, Cam Fowler, Hellebuck, Antoine Roussel, who is, I believe, French-European, from Roubaix, France. Mark Stone, Radulov, and Noah Hannafin. Mikko Koskinen having a good year. A few bumps yesterday. Thomas Hurdle, Kempney, who's been playing with Carlson. Klingberg, the King, Tyler Bertuzzi, and here is another one of these young guns, and this one would be Boqvist. Who's a Swedish player, I believe. Okay. There you go. So, not exactly super duper stars. And I think we're still owed a jersey. So, can look forward to that. Krug, Kyle Clifford, another young gun. Man, we're hitting all our young guns. This is Braden Shen, Severson, Barkov, who's just fantastic. Dylan Larkin. And our next young gun would be, what? Here it is. I totally lost track of the young gun. Here it is. And it would be Phillip Myers. Nice. He's been fantastic. He has been unbelievable. A D on your Flyers. Shea Weber, Ryan Suter, Logan Couture, Giordano. We do have, there's Heedle and Cal Clutterbuck. We do have an Upper Deck Portraits, and the portraits would be Johnny T. John Tavares, who still chugs up the middle of the ice and beats players in slow-mo as if it's nothing. We have a right winger base shooting stars. Chikrin, Matt Dumba, there's Max Patch in celebration mode. And we hit Brendan Gallagher. Nice, really nice. Had a career year last year. Probably not going to do the same this year, unfortunately. On a team that's having all kinds of difficulty. Troy Stetcher, Casey Middlestat, Winnington, Jeff Carter, Ryan Ellis, Brian Little, who's been injured, Nick Bukestad also, and there's Kotkaniemi, a year 2 card of KK. Nice. It's a nice photo. 2 packs left, guys. I think we're guaranteed a jersey in most universes. David Perron, Petrano, Sorelli, and we have a Jonathan Huberdeau, Upper Deck Portraits, Pesci, Kyle Torres, Silverberg, and Josh Morrissey. Last pack, guys. We should receive a hit. I thought we were supposed to receive a jersey. I think we hit a hit here. So let's see who it is. Is that a Flyer? Not sure. So we have Ryan Reeves. We have Lars Eller. We have Fogle. We have Eric Gustafsson. And behind this Bushnevich, we have a Shane Gostisbehere Ghost Bear jersey. Nice. Nice. Really, really pretty. I just hit his young gun in the other box, so this is the theme nowadays for me. Nice. That's a really, really beautiful jersey card. Cool. So that's it, guys. Nothing too spectacular on the Young Guns front, but that's what it is. That's what you get in these retail boxes. Okay, guys, time for a quick recap. I'm going to zoom right through it. So, 2 big chunky monkeys of the funky base. Here we go, per usual. Beautiful photography, as we're accustomed to. We did, in fact, receive our 4 canvases as guaranteed. There's Travis Zajac, Adam Henrique, Josh Bailey, as well as this young gun of Nygard. That's kind of cool. He was undrafted, but certainly has played a few games with your oil this year. And we received our portraits. There's Matthew Barzell, 16th overall in 2015, Johnny T, 1st overall in 2009, Huberdeau, and of course Abramov, who was, a 3rd rounder. So these would be our Upper Deck portraits. This one, of course, would be a rookies. So I'll place these puppies down there. We also received 2 of the shooting stars. There's Galley, These, I believe, are 25% of the time, and we also received a red parallel, which are like 8% of the time. So it's kind of cool to receive that red and parallel. These are a bit rarer and scarcer. In terms of young guns, sort of a middling affair, like a couple of them though. Boqvist, we have Abramov again, there's Clifton, there's Sandin of your Maple Leafs, Phillip Myers, who was undrafted, invited to their development camp and has been spectacular this year, as well as Fleury of the Montreal Canadiens. So there would be our young guns. Finally, our jersey card would be Ghost Bear, as you guys like to call him, Shingosta and I think this is like a Group E like last time, so that would amount to like 53% chance to hit this particular one. But it's really cool. It's really cool to hit a flyer. Don't usually hit flyers. So that's basically it, guys. Just be sure to wait till the price dips to $35, $30, whatever it does, because it always does dip, and get those 6 young guns much cheaper than the hobby boxes, minus all the cool funky inserts, unfortunately. Be sure to sub, like, and hashtag draw down full cards live and direct from a place called Brooklyn, New York.
Didn't I give you everything?